My self-worth has been wrapped up in my achievements since the day of my birth. I was born in 1993, 2nd of September, and this unexplainable pressure has been brewing in my bones for as long as I can remember. From when I started preschool, I got put on this pedestal because I was running around whilst the other kids were still trying to crawl. And in Key Stage 1, I'd always be the one to get the highest score on our spelling test. And Miss would give me this bright orange sticker that said, "Well done, you're the best." But that was never how I felt under my age 5 to 6 vest. I'll never forget, 12th of July 2004. I'd hurt my back the day before, so my anxiety was stirring in the depths of my core because it was Year 6 sports day. And I was just praying for the pain to go away because I was running in the class relay. But I didn't tell anyone out of fear they wouldn't let me run and I'd have to be the one to say, "Mum and Dad, I haven't won." So instead, I powered through without a clue that as I reached the last 10 metres, the laces on my shoe were starting to undo. And as I tripped and fell over the finish line, I felt this pain shoot up my spine like the deep scratch of a feline that sent my whole body into decline. It was a trapped nerve, the doctor said, as I lay in the hospital bed, parents either side and bare wires attached to my head. But to me, it was still worth it. Because as my torso hit the ground and my body spun around, I heard the crystal clear sound of my parents rejoicing. And when you see the smiles on their face because you won that race and you know they wouldn't have hugged you with the same warm embrace if you'd have come in second place. So as I got a bit older and I became a teen, I got given this device, which at first seemed all nice until I realised it opened up a whole other world of what it means to be liked. But I made a Twitter page because that was all the rage, and I started sharing all these inspirational posts to constantly appear like I was doing the most, because from what I saw on my feed, social media only existed to boast or roast. But as I was posting more and more, I ended up with this following I never really asked for. You thought your parents saying "don't fuck it up" was a lot. Now I got total strangers telling me I'm all they've got. I got kids saying, "Seeing you at the top of my feed makes me want to succeed. It gives me the motivation not to cut my arm and self-harm until I bleed." They think of me as superior because of how everything appears on the exterior, when on the inside I feel so inferior. And now on days when I don't want to post, all I feel is guilt because there are younger versions of me surviving off this platform I have accidentally built. And don't get me wrong, it's not all bad. I've met some people online that have helped me through some really tough times. But at the end of the day, when the phone's put away, who's there to check if I'm actually okay? All they see is a static face through a screen, but what they don't know is I've been self-medicating since the age of 13. See, for most of my life, my mum suffered with migraines, and codeine's been her drug of choice to help her ease the pain. So I started taking one before I went to sleep. It would help me calm down like a kid counting sheep. But then 1 turned into 2, and 2 into 4, and I was taking them in the park, on the bus, the school corridor. And well, you see, all of this accumulation was starting to affect my concentration, so by the time I reached uni, I was paranoid I'd fail my dissertation. And now all of a sudden results day appears, and so does Mum and Dad, and my anxiety has definitely never been this bad. And although on the outside I may look calm and collected, my chest is feeling affected because if I don't get the results everyone expected, I may not be accepted. And the thought of that rejection travelling from their mouths into my ear ignites this fear right here, which seems impossible to clear. And when I get into these dark places, all I can see are these faces saying, "You know what, if she stayed on top, she could have really gone places." And as I think more and more about all of the people I need to please, the panic sets in and it becomes harder to breathe, which sometimes makes me fall to my knees, so I try to think calming thoughts to put my mind at ease, but there's just no talking sense when it feels like my chest is being squeezed. So tight. And then after a few minutes or so, the blood begins to flow back to my knees and below. And all my senses start to switch back on, and I can feel the ground beneath my feet again, and the taste of metal in my mouth is gone. I'll take a shower, watch The Fresh Prince for an hour or so. But what cripples me the most is I'll have to wake up and do this all again tomorrow.